Hey y'all, we back. We are back with Savannah Guthrie Mother's Unsolved Investigation. Miss Nancy went missing at around the end of January and still has not been found. It's so much, it's just, this investigation shouldn't be this hard for an 84-year-old woman. You can go back and catch up if you want to, but I want to start right here. So what I want to do is get into this video right here is when this ransom note came to TMZ, okay? And I was laying on the bed, and I was just resting in bed, because I like to figure stuff out, y'all. And then when you retire, you sleep all got crazy hours, so you don't have an hour. You just up trying to keep your mind occupied. But I want to get into TMZ again. Now, what happened, y'all? TMZ was the first to get the ransom note. Why would the ransom note of Miss Nancy Guthrie go to TMZ? TMZ is not the police department. TMZ, it seems like somebody trying to be smart here. If they went to TMZ, they like saying, you always want to be the first one to cover the news. You know what I mean? It's a lot. Why would they go to TMZ? Why would... Okay. I'm gonna get it. Y'all, we had to help put this puzzle together. Because right now, she's 84 years old. She on a pacemaker. She take medication. And a lot of things that happen at her house that we're going to get into. They found some DNA, but that DNA doesn't mean that it belongs to her. But come on, investigators. Y'all should know now if that DNA belongs to Miss Nancy. And I feel so sorry for y'all because she's an elderly woman. If I go missing like that, I want somebody to find me. Now, don't forget, Savannah used to work with Nancy Grace. This what the ransom note claims, and it kind of like whoever sent it to them, to TMZ. Why them? Oh, come on, Roger. If you don't care, you don't have to be here. Come on now, this is an elderly lady. Come on now, why are you in my chat? Why are you doing this? Don't do that. Because you don't have to be here, baby. I care about this lady. If you don't care, can you leave? God, I don't feel like doing it. I care about this lady. I can't even hardly sleep because she have a daughter. They do, but this is an she can just, hey, Jerry. Yeah, I ain't got time. I'm not gonna do that because I'm on a job mission right now, and they don't do that. We don't do that over there. Okay, we want to keep it professional. Now, Miss Nancy, the ransom letter said the ransom note says Nancy Guthrie is safe, but scared. Huh? Why would they send it to TMZ? Let's listen. TMZ, y'all running me crazy because y'all drove me crazy with that David case. Okay, let's look at this.
By saying she is safe, but scared. And they go on to say she knows exactly what the demand is. New shocking details have been revealed.
What? Listen to what he said. The ransom. No, this the first. This when it first came to. They sent the note to TMZ. Why? Why would they send it to them? Goodness gracious. Okay. And listen to what he said. Let's go over what he said.
By saying she is safe but scared. And they go on to say
she is safe but scared. You come on. You sent a B C D E F G ransom note to say that Miss Nancy is scared. She's safe but scared. Of course she's going to be afraid. So right here, y'all, they have a timeline for Miss Nancy. And here go the timeline right here. This happened January the 31st, y'all, of this year. So I'm gonna show y'all some videos so y'all can watch the video, gonna tell you everything about her. When she went missing, the doorbell camera, the software detected, somebody removed her Ring cameras, but her Ring camera wasn't connected, to a Ring company. And I just don't understand that. And she 84. Was someone living there with her? And they also said that the Ring camera, okay, this is what they said. On January the 31st, 5:32 p.m., Nancy traveled to local family home. So y'all look, she traveled to her family home in an Uber. Okay? At 9:48, the family drops Nancy off at home and the garage door open, y'all. How did the garage open? Y'all let the lady in the house and the garage door open. It's almost like then you go in there now and do what they tell you to do. Okay, so y'all let her in the house. Why they do her like that, y'all? Okay, so the garage door can't open by itself. At 9:50 p.m., the garage door closed. Who's controlling the garage door? February the 1st, the doorbell camera at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera was disconnected. Disconnects. How do it's disconnect because this is what they did. At 2:12 a.m., a software detects person on the camera. No video available, no subscription. Why is an 84-year-old woman living in a house without a subscription? Ain't like $100 a month or something like that. And at 2:28 a.m., the pacemaker app shows disconnect from the phone. Could like we said the other night that it probably need charging. 11:56 a.m. the family checks on Nancy. A.m. At 12:03 p.m., 911 call to the PCSD. 12:15 p.m. patrol arrived. This is telling me, and everything I say is alleged, and this is my opinion. My opinion is not necessarily based on facts. Looking at the timeline, somebody know her. Somebody know that she stayed there by herself. Cause the garage door when it came up and went down by itself. I don't know what he talking about.
She knows exactly what the demand is.
New shocking details have been revealed about the purported Nancy Guthrie ransom note by TMZ boss Harvey Levin, which was sent to the outlet 2 days after Savannah Guthrie's mom was reported missing. Levin told Fox News' Sean Hannity that the note highlighted insider details about her suspected abduction, including information about her Apple Watch and a damaged floodlight at her $1 million home. Days earlier, TMZ reported...
You mean to tell me that y'all gonna sit here and say that this beautiful elderly woman, and I have to show her, in a $1 million home without a subscription, no cameras, but they said some cameras in there, but they don't want us to know all of that. The Ring camera not working, and this is $1 million home. I'm so upset in so many different ways, y'all. Because first of all, when I looked at that house, she's there by herself. She lives by herself. It hurts me, y'all. You're someone who can get in the house and disconnect, yes. And y'all, she in that big house by herself. Okay, calm down, Lanita. I just get upset. I'm sorry.
Floodlight at her $1 million home. Days earlier, TMZ reported that the note provided a deadline for the ransom payment in Bitcoin for her safe return, and implied something sinister would befall Nancy if the towering sum wasn't paid. It isn't clear if the purported note sent to TMZ was the same as the ones received by local Arizona affiliates. One Arizona news anchor who saw the possible Nancy Guthrie ransom note told CNN it was clear after a couple of sentences that it might not be a hoax.
A lot of it is information that only someone who is holding her for ransom would know. Some very sensitive information and things that people who weren't there when she was...
Why would they send the ransom note to TMZ instead of on the mama job, on her daughter job? Savannah work at a place like, she do like anchor, she do work like TMZ, and she do work by Nancy Grace. Why didn't send the ransom note to her instead of to TMZ? This don't make sense.
Captive would know.
Mary Coleman, an anchor for Arizona-based CNN affiliate KOLD 13 News, also revealed that the note had come via email and that police were searching for an IP address. This comes after Today host Savannah Guthrie and her siblings Annie and Cameron made a tearful appeal for their mother's safe return via Instagram on the evening of February 4th.
We are ready to talk. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive.
Right.
And that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen.
A purported ransom note was also sent to a local Arizona CBS affiliate, which contained details about the 84-year-old matriarch's home near Tucson and what she was wearing on the night of her disappearance. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos told CBS News, although he declined to give any specifics. In a February 5th press conference, authorities revealed that there were still no suspects in the case, and that the drops of blood outside the home, visible in scene footage from News Nation, had belonged to Nancy.
Blood on the porch, that was one we did. It came back to Nancy.
Okay, so the blood on the porch is Nancy. Y'all know, a lot of times you don't know when that dimension kicks in. I don't know, Billy. This is weird. You know what? Everything going through my mind. This is crazy. But even if she was going through dimension, she wouldn't take down the camera. Why taking them so long to look at the cameras? Man, they really upset me. Oh, she have a pacemaker too, the beast.
They also revealed that some of the notes had included a demand for money with a 5 p.m. February 5th deadline, as well as a second deadline for Monday, February 9th if the first wasn't met. According to authorities, a relative made a 911 call around noon on February 1st to report Nancy Guthrie was missing after she failed to show up for a church service. She was last seen by Savannah's brother-in-law, Tommaso, after he dropped Nancy off at her home in Catalina Foothills, north of Tucson, at around 9:30 p.m. on January 31st after a dinner, authorities said. In the early hours of the following morning,
Michael.
at 1:47 a.m., Nancy's doorbell camera disconnects and is later discovered.
How is her door? Look, y'all, they took the door camera off. She need her medicine, and you know what? Billy, and that's what scam. My dad had a pacemaker, and when you taking your blood, 'cause I had to take blood pressure med, but when you take your med, you need your meds. So, do she have a nurse that comes to her house? Somebody knows that this elderly lady lives there by herself. Why is blood? Why is she bleeding? It's scaring me. And then the whole camera is gone, y'all. They took the whole camera. She didn't take that camera down. So it got to be somebody know the family or in the neighborhood.
For it to have gone missing. At 2:12 a.m., a camera at the home detects movement, but unfortunately the footage overrode itself because Nancy didn't pay for the subscription service. On February 3rd, FBI agents were spotted at Tommaso.
You talking about this? She stay in $1 million home, and y'all couldn't take that subscription out of that beautiful elderly lady bank account? The ring can't monitoring don't cost that much. Is they telling us the truth? Cause she's got that lady rich. And these two dropped the lady off. And the garage door can't open by itself. And y'all let her in that house. If I put up in my driveway and my garage door come up, my children is not gonna let me go in the house. It doesn't make sense, and it's irritating me because I don't see nothing funny about this. Because she 84, you can easily go into dementia at that age. Cause my mama didn't have it, but at 83, she got lost just like Nancy mom. And she got in the control, y'all. Somewhere we need to know how she got out there. And then she walked into the lake. So did they check the rivers, the water, anything like that? And these two right here know something because y'all dropped her off. I'm trying to, wait, y'all, let me breathe. I'm trying not to get mad. Angry with them.
Savannah Guthrie's sister Annie's home in Arizona as the search for their missing mother continues. Savannah was also believed to have been there. The elder Guthrie was not known to have illnesses such as dementia or Alzheimer's.
Didn't I just brought that up? Dementia and Alzheimer's. I just brought that up, y'all. Because people like with Alzheimer's, like they get lost, y'all. I don't care what people say. My mom just, y'all, was lost. And we did the same thing, but when they found her, she already drowned. So, and her mama 84, and she can't even drive. And my mama can drive. Come on now. They found her in 3 days. But the ring camera could be tell. Yeah, but they saying that she got one of those. See, Billy, she has one of those ring cams that you can see this. I'm like you now. Hold up now. Even though her ring cam wasn't monitored, they still could have go back and pick up. I know Doreen told me that one time mine's got disconnected, and they were saying that you can still see the people, but they're not monitoring the people. You know what? I sure don't want to think that Jay Halapia. I really try not to think that they playing on us. I hope not. It ain't too much she can do, y'all. Now why? Now Bill, why you come in here and say that? That is not nice. I wouldn't have said that about your mom. Gosh. Now what make you? Why did you? I'm not about to stop my live for you. I'm not gonna do that. Cause we trying to find an older lady.
Good sound mind. However, she was described as being in not of good physical health. She cannot walk more than 50 yards on her own and is reliant on life.
And see, she can't even walk on her own. So now, so we know somebody is controlling the narrative, y'all. Somebody is controlling her. We don't know. She can have her medicine. She can have her pacemaker. It could seem like to me a nurse. You know what? I didn't want to say that. Then I didn't want to say what you say, but you about right. I'm thinking that somebody, one of hers, they know what's going on, but she a millionaire. She probably going to give them the money anyway.
Saving medication, a lack of which for 24 hours could prove fatal, making the hunt a race against time. Today host Savannah Guthrie, who has been with NBC News for nearly 2 decades, has been absent from her morning talk show.
And she's on a top talk show. Why did they send the ransom to TMZ, y'all? And there you go. Susanna right there. Yep, they said 50 yards on her own. She there with no nurse. And somebody got to be there with that lady. Leave my sister live there with my mom. But why they didn't send the ransom note to her job? Why TMZ?
Nancy's disappearance, and called off her trip to Italy to cover the Winter Olympics as authorities scrambled to search for her mother. Nancy has made various guest appearances on Today over the years since Savannah joined the show in 2011.
She loves us, her family fiercely, and her selflessness and sacrifice for us, her steadfastness and her unmovable confidence is the reason.
And she probably the one closer to her mom. She probably the one that close to her mom. I mean, this here, you know. Lord. Now, y'all, let's get into the doorbell. Now, he's going to tell y'all about the ring. I just don't understand why they send it to TMZ and why they didn't send it to Nancy. Not Nancy, to Savannah.
There is a blood trail near the front door of Nancy Guthrie's house, and you can see the blood right there, right near the
son-in-law
doormat. And as the camera pans up, there's something else troubling. There was a ring camera there, and all you can see now is where the mounting was on the wall.
Okay. Now, who took the ring down? Who took the camera down? I ain't never heard of nobody taking the ring cam down. It's too late to take the ring cam down.
The ring camera has been pulled off. I asked the sheriff about that at the press conference today, and I asked, was it the perpetrator that you think took the ring camera? And all he would say was, we noticed that too, and we are investigating. Something else new is Nancy.
So let me ask y'all something. Now, I want to ask the question about the ring cam, since they want to put so focus on the ring cam. Was it already down since it didn't work? Was it already off the house? That's what it sounds like to me. Who the hell time enough to take a ring cam down? In other words, they'll do, hit it, knock it. And some of them have batteries on the inside of them. So I wanted to know what's the thing up there? What's the how was it mounted up there? That don't make no sense.
At the press conference today, and I asked, was it the perpetrator that you think took the ring camera? And all he would say was, we noticed that too, and we are investigating. Something else new is Nancy had a pacemaker, and the pacemaker electronically connected to her Apple
Sure don't look
Watch.
like it
And
ripped. Look, that thing is not ripped off, y'all. I want to do, somebody else mentioned something about the police. It could have been taken down, and I think the family is trying to get her help. Oh no. Now you can take my ring cam off like this too. You could just lift it up and take it off. So I wonder, is hers mount, like that part, now this part right here of the ring cam is connected to the house. But the camera, the battery, and the other portion, you gotta do nothing but take the battery out. I don't understand that. I don't understand why they take the whole, they left this up, but I don't understand why they take the other part, the cover, to the camera. Why did they do that? That's weird.
Watch, we know, was charging in her bedroom, and the last time the pacemaker connected to the Apple Watch was around 2 a.m. So the thought is it was shortly after 2 a.m. That Nancy was abducted. And the last thing I want to show you, Chris, is we got some drone video in the area, which I think is important because people think this is like a normal neighborhood. We're actually in the foothills, very close to the mountains, and the houses are spread out here outside Tucson. Each house, I would say, sits on anywhere.
These millionaires out here. These are millionaires. Why did they wait to Savannah? No, Savannah was out there with the Olympics. Why did they wait till she do that job and to do the mama like this? Somebody knows. She got to leave her. I know she don't left her kids money out. If she had kids, oh Lord, just don't know.
Acre to 3 or 4 acres. You'll see when it gets dark out here, it's pitch black. So this isn't like a neighborhood where everybody's going to have a camera and people are going to see what's going on at their neighbors.
Yes, they can, because you can have a camera on your house and you don't have to do them but sit up there and look at it. You don't have to be watching at the camera. Ring camera, you could be in your bed, you could be over somebody's house and look at a ring, look at your ring cam. What was that? The ransom note. We're gonna I'm gonna let them show you that. Now the one that TMZ, I just delete that, Billy. They didn't have a date on it. They didn't put the date. But we'll get into, I can find one that got the ransom, the second ransom. We can look at the second one.
Everything is spread out, Chris.
You're dumping all this stuff on me. I've been listening as we're going through. I got questions. Let me go in reverse order, okay? And your super sleuth producer that's out there with you, Allison Weiner, you guys saw a rescue truck or some kind of first responder vehicle there and some kind of activity. What do you make of that?
Yeah, that was new. Right before Elizabeth's show started, suddenly this chopper showed up and was hovering right over the house, and I thought, oh, maybe they're going to make one pass. They were here for an hour, circling the house and then circling the area around the house, and then there was a search and rescue team that also showed up in a pickup truck. Did they get some kind of tip? Were they looking for something? We don't know, but that's new. We haven't seen that happen yet.
Right, that's okay. 2, the connection from the heart device to the phone, is that about proximity?
It's about timing. because
I said that.
when she was taken away and the pacemaker could no longer connect to the iPhone because it does it through Bluetooth, you have to be close to it.
So it's proximity.
It showed that when she moved away at 2 a.m., suddenly she must have been abducted after 2 a.m. That's what it shows.
Okay, the blood. So I was talking with one of our colleagues about it before and saying, it doesn't look like gushing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a huge wound that's bleeding out, and obviously it's sequential, so it's moving.
It's like it's dripping, some kind of drip. It don't even really look like blood. Don't want to think it, but if eggs need to dose me every day. Right, the notes stopped. Billy. The notes did stop after they locked the dude up. It stopped.
Or into the house or out of the house, most likely out. You see there's a little bit of a spray pattern there that could indicate a pause. And you're saying that investigators have a little bit of a notion of what the blood, by its pattern, may suggest?
That don't even look like
I don't
blood.
know what the blood means. My first thought was like you mentioned, it's not a ton of blood, almost like a nosebleed. We don't know.
Yeah, that's some thick blood.
We knew there was blood yesterday, but we didn't see the blood. Today we see the blood. We know they've tested the blood. Whether it came to Nancy or someone else, we don't know. But it's right there. It's still right there.
Yeah, I'm trying not to show the blood.
And Allison and I were talking about it.
Yeah, it look like they got something over the blood. Okay, I'm trying to move the blood. Let me see. I don't want to think, but
The fishy part is the Bitcoin.
I think if she's still out there at age 84, she has to be with a nurse. They need it. They said it was her blood. Yeah, they said it was her blood, but I think when they put the stuff over it, that's why it looked thick.
Which there's a plus minus on it. Why would you ask for Bitcoin?
I would still stop showing it because I can't show
Why would
the
you
blood.
do a scam, having nothing to do with Nancy's abduction because it's untraceable? So you could get free money out of this. Is there any indication as to whether or not they think these are legit demands?
Yeah, and just back to the blood real quick, I wanted to mention the blood stops right near the door, which like what you and Allison were talking about. Does that mean that she was put into a car right there? Because the blood doesn't continue out into the driveway.
See, the blood not even out here, y'all. The blood not even dripping out here. If the drip all right there in front of the door, why is it just right there? That's weird. How the blood is not out here. Out here. If the blood is right here. And why is she bleeding? That don't sound right, y'all.
You could tell. In terms of the ransom, this may all just be made up, Chris. I mean, these could be people just watching the news, wanting to mess around. Let me see if I can get $20,000. I mean, they sent it to TMZ.
Well, they had 50. They needed 50. They have a award out for $50,000, and then they got, like he just said, they sent it to TMZ. Why?
And then TMZ was having a hard time getting in touch with the sheriff, apparently. I don't know. I mean, it's hard.
Why are they having a hard time to get in touch with? See, there's something going on. Because TMZ, they covering David investigation. Everything was going through them. What is going on, y'all? Somebody about to retire or something?
That those are necessarily real, but the sheriff did make clear that they're really investigating them. I mean, they're not just sort of brushing.
No, that blood not gonna stop right at that door. I don't care what nobody say. Let me see, can I find some Billy with the Rams, the second Rams? Let me see. I just don't want to deal with. I think what's the name about to retire? Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. I think TMZ. What's the dude name? I think he about to retire. Okay, y'all. Let's go here. They're gonna talk about the car when the car was towed.
Several new leads in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. She, of course, the mother of Savannah Guthrie from the Today Show. She disappeared 6 days ago. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams.
And I'm Annabelle Sedano. Nancy Guthrie, as you just heard Colleen say, was last
Harvey,
seen on
right.
Saturday. But the FBI has been investigating a few ransom notes. And our Robert Kovacic is in Tucson, Arizona. He's following the latest on this search.
I think he about to retire.
Annabelle and Colleen, we are outside of Nancy Guthrie's home, or as close as we can right now, as evening falls here in Catalina Foothills. That is what the suburbs are called here, just outside
This
of
is
Tucson.
Ruffy.
And we want to, as we take a look behind us, talk about three major developments that are going on right now in this investigation. Number one, the FBI and investigators are back at the home, and we can confirm they are still there. We just found out moments ago. Now, as you heard on the NBC4 News at 6 o'clock tonight, as you take a look at some of the investigation that has been unfolding over the last few days, we did tell you this evening that investigators were spotted in the backyard tonight. They were looking apparently for something. We don't know exactly what, but was it related to an email received by a local news station here in Tucson today? That would be development two. A demand received from that station here, again, a local news station, an email sent to them. Was it from the same person or
This is an
person
elderly lady.
who spent the first time writing a note that demanded a 5 p.m. deadline yesterday? And then
Okay, there you go, Billy. They just mentioned something about the deadline for that ransom note. Let me see. Let me see what they say. The bad action. I'm serious, Ella.
person or person who spent the first time writing a note that demanded a 5 p.m. deadline yesterday. And
Okay, yesterday they said 5 p.m. yesterday, Billy. It now may open the door up for others. See, that's what I'm thinking, Carol.
p.m. deadline Monday. Authorities stressed to NBC. Law enforcement has not been able to determine.
So the deadline, let me see, what Bill that? Bill, did you hear? I know you mentioned something that you want to know about the time of the ransom. It was the first time it was written, it was at 5 p.m. deadline. I just want to make sure, because I know I told you I was going to, Billy. Yeah. So it was at 5 p.m. Boy, y'all, Homeland Security.
Stress to NBC. Law enforcement has not been able to determine the legitimacy of the email received today or of the first ransom note. And again, it is still not verified if that first note with a second deadline for Monday. Colleen and Annabelle, I'm going to ask
I think a nurse. I wonder, do she have a nurse? They really ain't telling us. Yeah, that was like, yeah, Billy. Yeah. It haven't been another ransom. I wanted that a nurse take her, y'all. Do she have a nurse come to the house to check on her?
To bear with us, to stay with us live here for a second. Our producers are telling us that we want to come back here live. This is another development which I'm going to talk to you about in a second. This is, I believe you're going to see live on NBC4, a flatbed truck. Now, on that flatbed truck is a car. We do not know if this is coming from the driveway of Nancy Guthrie's home. We don't know if it's coming from a neighbor's, but we have been told and asked to look out for it. I'm going to get out of the way. It is really important that we get a shot of this car as it comes. Ladies, follow me as we do it. Lewis, go ahead and turn.
But if they doing all of this with her mother, why is TMZ? Why did they? Is something like this going on? They'll be trying to get in touch with Savannah, y'all, not TMZ. She would do to her right, Kara. I think she had, I believe, a nurse, a doctor, or somebody come out, a nurse come out to the house.
And apparently, it looked like a Toyota that was on that flatbed truck. There's a Pima County Sheriff's.
And why they didn't come pick her up? Why they didn't come pick her up? They took her home. Her son-in-law took her home. Why they didn't come pick her up? Why did she have to catch an Uber over to their house? She's an elderly lady. She didn't need to be walking to no Uber. I'd be 72 June 3 and have a nurse home check on me. Right. And I'm so upset with this.
That truck. One more time, Liz. Subaru. I beg your pardon. It was a Subaru on that truck. What is interesting, Colleen and Annabelle, is as that truck stops now and they try to make their way down this windy road, that Subaru, we were hoping to get a license plate on. The Subaru was turned around, so we could not get a license plate on it. But let's swing by here now and get you caught up. So we are talking about a car that you just saw live on our air that we believe may have come from the driveway of Nancy Guthrie just up the road. So let's just back up, if we will.
Right, Carol. Why did they let her catch an Uber? But then y'all bring her back and y'all say that the garage. Why y'all billing her investigation? Because why is the garage door opening? And you know she's an elderly lady. Why you didn't walk her to the door and see who let that door open? Who else? Do they have a nephew? Do they have a grandson? Do they have a niece or somebody stay out there grown?
Major developments. First, investigators back at the home, and as you just saw, they may be taking evidence, that evidence being a Subaru. The second, there is another email, a letter with demands that was sent to a local television news station. Law enforcement can't verify it. They say that they don't even know if there's any legitimacy to either of those notes, if these notes are connected. And that means this note received today connected to a first note received on Monday that said that there was a deadline at 5 p.m. yesterday and another deadline for Bitcoin money at 6 p.m. on...
This is, y'all doing too much. This is saying a whole lot. Different knew who she was in her circumstances. Yeah, that's what I said. Somebody know her circumstances. Yeah, somebody know. Somebody who knew that Savannah was out in the country. A son-in-law and a yeah, we saw that, Charlie. I showed them that a few minutes ago. That was just said on the what? What? Thank you, Carol. I just want somebody to be on our channel, who like to, figure out cases. You know what I mean? Help people.
This Monday. The third development. Let's show you that video if we can.
Hey,
this is video shot by NBC4 upon our arrival. This is the Circle K. Circle K relevant because apparently there was a tip that came in to law enforcement that a car or cars, vehicle or vehicles, if you will, possibly involved in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie made its way at some point to Circle K. That's about 6-minute drive exactly, ladies.
6-minute drive. Y'all, the lady is a multi-millionaire. She a millionaire. So she have a credit card. Nobody used, they probably knew the Ring camera subscription was canceled. They knew they know who is handling her business. Who is, what y'all call that, who is her caretaker? I hope I'm saying that right. Who is the caretaker for her? Who handled her business for her? If she doesn't show up for church, right. Members knew to call. The members did call. They called the police too. Because she come to church every Sunday. Who is her caretaker? Somebody got to be there with her, y'all. She's 84.
From where I'm standing to that Circle K, and NBC News has learned from Circle K, giving NBC News a statement that law enforcement went there, they cooperated, and they were willing to give law enforcement their surveillance video. If anything...
Okay, but so did they take any money? No money. No, we haven't heard anything about nobody try to use her bank account card. She got money. Why are they doing a ransom if she has money? Yeah, I'm thinking like, that's the right word, the caretaker. Somebody got to be taking care of her business. My mom could handle her own business, y'all, at 83. But she wasn't on a pacemaker. And she can walk and drive. But this lady can't go too far. Nancy couldn't go that far. Yeah, do they have somebody who handle her business for her? A second, I thought that a caretaker, yeah. What daughter would let, that's what I'm saying, John. What daughter would let her 84-year-old mother stay alone with a pacemaker? Do you know a pacemaker can go off anytime? And then a ring camera, that doesn't work. I'm blessed. I don't need a caregiver. My mama didn't need a caregiver. Okay. One daughter, Anna, lives 10 minutes away. Anna lived 10 minutes away? Well, that sure didn't help. I just don't think that she should be in that big house by herself.
That we don't know. So as you come
she can
back
barely
here,
walk.
If anything comes of any of the developments I'm telling you right now, we just don't know. All we can tell you is that there are investigators up at Nancy Guthrie's house, according to NBC News and our team here on the ground, and we see right now that a Subaru vehicle, we may know more in the next couple of hours, should know more when we see you on the NBC4 News at 11, if that Subaru is connected to this investigation. I'll leave you with this. Just minutes ago, President Trump on Air Force One says that he is fairly certain that there will be some type of developments being announced in the coming hours because he says things are happening on the ground here in Tucson. Is he referring to what's going on here now? We just don't know. But for
so in Tucson, are they trying to send a lot of them people back to Mexico? It's a lot of that going on over there where she lives, y'all. Somebody can be very upset. Let me see what else they got over here. That was my last news. Something is going on. Let's see. I don't see nothing now. Let me take it right here. Well, what the FBI doing? Are they doing anything?
We just got a fresh restock of brand new heating and cooling systems into our warehouse this month, but they won't sit here for long. So if you're here in the area and you've been thinking about upgrading, now's the time.
All right, Jonathan, thank you very much. Here with analysis of this fast-breaking news, live from Tucson, also Paul Morrow, Fox News contributor, former NYPD inspector, also Randy Sutton, former Las Vegas police lieutenant who's seen so much in his career. Paul, it would seem, and underline seem,
right,
that there's something to this letter, or a great coincidence that so many resources went back to the scene today shortly after receiving that letter. What are your thoughts tonight?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it seems entirely too coincidental that they would put out the press release knowing that the impact that would have, and then clearing everybody away, that is all the media, away from the house as they brought in a whole bunch more resources to scrape at the crime scene area and the area around it.
Who is Bovino? Right, Carol. Who is got sent back to Arizona from wait a minute. But it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. But why did it go to TMZ? I still don't get that. I don't understand that. Why? That's not his mother. That's Savannah's mother. And that's why I said, Carol, he was leading the ICE agent in Minnesota. What? Somebody upset.
The other thing I would mention.
Oh, so that's what Trump said. That's what Trump must want to come on and talk about. Wow. Agent in Minnesota. Wait, he was leading the ICE agents in Minnesota, and they sending him back?
It seems that there is something in this second letter that lends it some sort of at least patina of being genuine.
Wow, that's what they just said, Billy. They speaking of that now. No, I can't give. Y'all had to go back and catch up. We can't do that. Just go back and catch up. That's all. Oh, they just mentioned what you said. Hold on now. Because I didn't know Bovino. I don't know none of these people. If you just coming in, you really can't like listen and to catch up, okay?
More resources to start to scrape at the crime scene area and the area around it. The other thing I would mention is that it seems that there is...
That's what I said, Carol. 24-hour care. I wonder, is she with her nurse? Was her daughter taking care of her? Her other daughter?
Something in this second letter that lends it some sort of at least patina of being genuine, because unlike the fake letter that they got, they unraveled that very quickly and they made the arrest. We heard about that. The other letter, though, they've been entertaining. It wasn't cracked that easily. The same thing with this one. And here's what I'm wondering, Laura. I'm wondering if this new letter that they're taking more seriously has the Bitcoin wallet in it. Because that's been the demand all along, right? It's been unequivocal. Pay us. And if it has that wallet, it absolutely, almost incontrovertibly, links the two letters together as being from the same person or persons, because a Bitcoin wallet is a very long string of letters and numbers. There's no way, that's not out, so there's no way that somebody could guess at that, and that would give it a level of genuineness to at least link it to the same person.
Let's go to Randy. Randy, another thing that we noticed today with the overhead drone shots is the movement of resources to the back of the house. And as we heard from Jonathan, the chit-chat with the neighbors behind Mrs. Guthrie's home. One would think that they had already checked that area for footprints, disturbances.
Thank you, lady. Thank you. These are things the FBI should have... Something going on with the FBI. They're not moving right to me lately. They didn't even move right with David, D4VD case. I wouldn't want to live, me either. I like my little house, but they say it's big enough, but it ain't like no huge, big old brick house, like no house like that.
Interviewed all the neighbors promptly, yet we saw video in the last 24 hours of agents interviewing neighbors. Does any of that strike you as slightly odd?
Not really.
He gonna take up for the FBI.
The property, again, they're being very, very circumspect about their investigative approaches here, and you can always miss something. So to go back and and retrace your steps is not anything that I would be concerned about. When it comes down to interviewing the witnesses, interviewing neighbors, there is always a possibility that someone's memory will be jarred. Remember, we just found out yesterday that a neighbor reported a suspicious white van that person had seen in the neighborhood. So,
and you know what I thought about Carol, that she has to change clothes. She gonna need to be changed. She's 84. She can't live out there like this unless she over somebody's house. Or is she over visiting somebody's house? Ain't nobody trying to steal that lady money or nothing like that. I don't know what's going on here. And why are they doing her like that?
always a possibility of jarring a memory, and these investigators are just being thorough as well they should be.
Hey, Stephanie.
Paul, moments ago, NBC reported that police visited a gas station, a Circle K gas
Right,
station
we saw
in
that.
Tucson, out on Oracle Road there, and a spokesperson told NBC that law enforcement stopped by one of their stores after receiving a tip regarding a vehicle of interest. Our team has provided them access to the store's surveillance video. So again, any unusual cars in the neighborhood, Paul, you and I talked about this Monday, that had to be top of mind for authorities.
Absolutely. And we know that they have a pretty good window as to when they think the abduction occurred. So extrapolating out from that, using an average speed, that kind of a thing.
You know what, Billy? I wouldn't put it past somebody in law enforcement too. It's a lot going on. Let me see. Go back to Trilla. Yes, she did have health issues. No, her health wasn't great, baby. No, it wasn't great. No, they need to find her real quick so she can take her meds. Is she somewhere in a nursing home? Did they check the waters and everything? She shouldn't be living alone, 84 years old. Yeah, we already spoke on that. She shouldn't be there. She can't even hardly walk.
That track to the time of the abduction, try to allow for the speed. Maybe you can match at least the type or size of the car that was at the scene to tire tracks that you saw there. That helps you narrow it. You can think of the Kohlberger case.
Did they check the Uber driver? The Uber took her, but they brought her back. Why is she catching an Uber anyway? I don't like how she been treated. They're going to look at this case different, y'all, if they don't get it right. Because it seemed like neglect here. Yeah, it was more than one person. And it seemed like a neglect case. She was neglected. To me, she's staying in that house by herself.
Where they got gas station footage that provided a car. Remember the recent shooting we just had at Brown University? It was 2 pieces of video surveillance of the same car with
Excuse me.
ultimately broke that case. Vehicle in this, as you say, we talked about this. A vehicle thing in this case breaking, I think, could be a really, really big deal, and you know they're pulling hard at that.
Randy, lots of speculation about whether this could be something internationally, involved. Obviously not.
I don't know. They're not even talking about the Uber driver. Period.
I noticed that the sheriff the other day, and again, he's getting heaps of criticism for some of the initial handling of the case, but he went out of his way not to rule out any foreign involvement here. But given all your experience, do you think that's likely?
Well, I'm happy that he did not discount the possibility of foreign involvement. Remember that this location has very close proximity to the the Mexican border. And we also know that
Oh, they that close to the Mexican border? But why would they take her though, y'all? They can get the money out of her account. Why would you do a ransom and she have credit cards? Something ain't right about this.
although in the law enforcement sources that I've spoken to down there say that it's very rare to have cartel kidnappings in the Tucson area. But if you just go...
Who cut her grass? Who keep the swimming pool back there? Do they have any grandchildren, great-grandkids? Y'all can't tell me that she's staying out there by herself. I'm not going with that. The Uber driver statement is key. Thank you. And you don't hear nobody speaking of the Uber driver.
Not too far to Phoenix. That's a mainstay of the cartel's methodology for raising money. Is they kidnap people for ransom.
I don't believe the cartels. Why y'all want to throw the cartels in this? Y'all making me think that y'all know more than what we think. Whew, Lord have mercy. Okay, let me see. Let me see. But y'all, it's so many mean people in this world. It's so many mean people. But they days coming.
A higher level of urgency than we have seen, if you can believe it, in the search for Nancy Guthrie. We are at proof of life. That is what the family of 84-year-old mom, Nancy Guthrie, 84-year-old mom of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie, is now asking on camera from whoever may have taken her mom.
Where is she from, y'all? Yeah, that family got to know something. Now, Savannah's the one, somebody jealous of her, to me, her relationship and Savannah's relationship. Because this didn't happen she went to Olympics and covered a story in Olympics. Somebody jealous. Because the mom very close to her. And if she had been here, if she had been where she's supposed to be, where she was working, then they wouldn't have did that. You know what, Joel? Somebody else said that.
Not only do they want to know where she is, she vanished from her Tucson, Arizona home over the weekend. They want to know if she's alive and can they prove it. They need to know. Law enforcement says it has no suspects or a person of interest, and that was in response at this hour yesterday.
Y'all ain't got no person of interest? Well, why in the devil would they send the ransom? Why would the ransom go to TMZ? That's odd. I question if she was ever brought back to her house. They brought her, when they brought her back to the house, the garage door came open by itself and it shut by itself. And all of this happened in the heat of the morning. Y'all brought that elderly lady back in there just like that. I think they don't want to say nothing about no grandkid. They don't want to blame nobody in the family.
Reporter was telling you, Alicia Acuna, there were reports that there was someone identified as a suspect.
We just talking,
Gabriel. Statement at that time during this hour, answering back, denying that, saying
we don't know, y'all. We just talking. Everybody can speak their opinion.
They have not identified anyone. Investigators are again coming to Nancy's home and area around it. That happened yesterday. They have labeled it again a crime scene. The county sheriff is set to hold a news conference in a couple of hours from now at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. DNA evidence and suspicious signs inside that home are now key pieces of this investigation. Investigators are
okay, y'all, they did get some DNA. That's a good thing. I don't even know how her mom talk. Somebody else said they think the son did that. This somebody, so why would he do his mama like that? She already have money to give to them. Jeez. She sure did put up a fight, Joel, because that's where that blood come
camera
from.
footage and license plate readers.
That's what I said, jealous.
Guthrie's pacemaker appears to have been disconnected from its monitoring app in the early morning hours of Sunday, the same day she was reported missing. Now remember, I mentioned that on the show a couple of days ago. And in terms of putting information out there, we got nothing else on that. Now we're starting to get some more. President Trump personally called Savannah Guthrie, offering federal resources and prayers. Savannah, her sister, and her brother gave that heartbreaking public plea that went viral almost immediately last night after it was posted. They are asking anyone who might be holding their mom to talk to them.
But why would they be listen, y'all, listen. The lady have money. Why would they be holding her and they could have stole her money from her? They could have went in her bank account and got her money. Why they doing it like this? No, they haven't found her yet. That's the only part I don't understand. She got money herself. So who handled the mother's account? Who handled all her business for her? If she handled her own business, then they could have used her credit card. They didn't have to do this, y'all.
Our mom is our heart and our home. We are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please, reach out to us.
Now, talking about this dude right here, he been looking weird to me for the longest. And she been looking weird. Not Savannah, but he been looking weird to me from day one. Yeah, I got suspicious that he knows something. I don't know. Everybody is except for Savannah. I feel sorry for her because she was at work.
Rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms.
See, she's speaking to the ransom person. One is locked up. They ain't doing nothing, Joey. They ain't telling us nothing. I know, man. I cried about her the other day. You said Savannah not slick, but they don't have to kill her. They don't have to take her life like that. If they needed some money, they could have just got the money. You know what I mean? That's why I say, who handled their mother bank account, y'all? Somebody know what's going on in his family. Yeah, somebody definitely know in his family. And who is she? That's a sister too? She looking weird. Yeah, who handled her bank account? Her checking account? Who take care? Somebody got to be in that house with that lady. Y'all, they don't want to give it up. Somebody in that family, somebody's supposed to be taking care of her. And I know they don't have no kids. Savannah got money. Yeah, Savannah got plenty of money. I don't know about everybody else. Yeah, it got to be a
Retired NYPD Inspector Paul Morrow standing by outside the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and he will be in focus. Let's begin with senior correspondent Alicia Acuna outside Nancy Guthrie's home in Tucson. Alicia.
Hi, Harris. We're going to be getting that update from law enforcement here in a couple of hours. Really hoping to get some details on a lot of the activity that we saw occurring last night.
Let's go back to what you're saying right there. Hey, they got to cover themselves, y'all. In the condition that their mother was in, she ain't had no business not there in the house by herself. This can make them look bad too. Yeah. Kimberly, it's a distraction. They know that lady not supposed to be out there by herself, and she can't walk for 50 yards.
Now, our crew saw both local and federal authorities, including Border Patrol with
canines. And can the Uber driver tell us how was her health? Did she look like something was on her mind when she got in the Uber? Can they tell us something? Right. She got not be feeling good. Why did she go over there to the daughter house anyway? To her son-in-law house anyway? And had to catch her Uber. I go pick my mom up and I go take my mama back. Yeah, somebody, yeah, that lady, she was a healthy 84-year-old. I know what, yeah, on that style, she would healthy like that, but not to be by herself. Did the Uber, I ain't heard nothing from the Uber driver. They haven't, we don't know. They ain't saying nothing about the Uber driver. I'm the only one mentioning.
It was cordoned off with police tape while they searched the property. Agents could be seen tracing the back of the home and also the garage. The Pima County Sheriff's Department previously said the scene had been cleared, but that they had follow-up work. You can see here that the doorbell camera on Nancy's house is no longer on its bracket.
Yeah, I hate to say that.
Photo for the first time here. The FBI is assisting with gaining access.
But they got to realize that this is just the base to the Ring camera. Only thing they had to do was take the battery out of it and take the plastic part that on top of there. If they took the battery out, they got the key ever. they should, hey, they know they can investigate that camera even though it wasn't subscribed. We love her. What are you talking about, Slender? Yeah, we don't want to think like that. You know, even though when a person is on a life support, you don't supposed to think that they are unalive, but you know they are. We want them to find her. We do. I'm gonna continue talking about this case, keep awareness on this case, because until they can say where she is, they should be done found her by now, y'all. I just had to see. Elder sister who has always been independent on the recent death in December when they was interviewing those delayed. Wow. I was saying, Audrey, too, maybe they need to check the Uber driver and see what he's saying. I know they probably have. I'm going to sing you sis in prayers. My prayers go out to her, too. To y'all. They were,
data from that camera and others in the home. Law enforcement also spent time at Savannah Guthrie's sister Annie's home. The family is believed to be...
Who come to her house and clean the house up? Who cleans the house up? We need to know who keeps her. She have a swimming pool, y'all. That's why I say when I saw the swimming pool, I thought to do either one of them have older kids, teenagers. Who's supposed to have been watching her, caring for her? Because anything she can, at 84, she can fall. Right, Joy. And then you know what? That's what I'm thinking. She have an aid. That's what we brought that up. They ain't telling us. Bring that closer. Recover to man. Return to wonder. And only reason why I was on Philadelphia happened. Saying what? Every one of you who likes about. I pray your mom and dad, our kids, stay safe. Will hate for your baby to go missing. Stacy, be careful what you say on my channel because they recording the channel, okay? Be careful what you put on here, okay? Be careful what you saying, okay? I'm just saying, just be on the safe side. Because you really don't, if you don't care about this content, you don't have to be here. But be careful what you put in the chat.
Gathered there. It's possible agents assisted the Guthrie children in making the video released last night.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer.
Why is she the only one crying? Why is she the only one crying? Ain't nobody else crying, ain't nobody booing.
NBC News report sources tell them Guthrie.
She the only one crying. I wonder do they paid somebody to come out there and sit with. She seemed like she didn't want to miss her flight to the Caribbean and take.
Released last night.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain.
Nah, they not exhausted. This girl, they sister crying. Ain't nobody, rub her shoulders. Somebody waited right to Savannah, go out of state to another country and just came in and just took her on out of there. She the only one seen crying. If my sister crying, I'm crying too. I'm crying with my sister.
She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer.
See, she closer to her. She the only one closer to her mom. Well, I was a daddy girl, but I love my mom too, but I'm saying, I don't see nothing right here. Ain't nobody rubbing her shoulders.
NBC News report sources tell them Guthrie's pacemaker appeared to be disconnected from its monitoring app early in the morning on Sunday. And this is worth repeating. We've been talking about it. The Sheriff's Department is attempting to knock down rumors and reports that they have identified a potential suspect. The department says that's not true. Adding unverified accusations or false information is irresponsible and does not assist the investigation, reiterating they do not have a suspect or a person of interest. One other thing, Harris, we understand from our folks in D.C. that FBI Director Kash Patel is scheduled to come to Tucson next week. Harris.
Alicia, thank you very much for the update. I want to bring in now Paul Morrow, retired NYPD inspector, attorney, and Fox News contributor, and you are in Tucson. So first I want to get just your perspective as a former police officer, because you will get on the ground and you make those contacts. What are you learning?
Well, we're waiting to hear the press conference today to see if we get any further. We didn't get a whole lot at the last press conference. As you know, they have. Now we are reporting this information about the pacemaker. And the reason that's significant, Harris, is it puts a very fine point on the likely time of abduction. And that narrows down the window of where they have to focus their resources. Look, it's a pretty big task force. They've sent in all of these federal assets. A big point now is going to be organization, making sure it's run well. All the information is coming into one place because you have a lot of disparate agencies here. And as we all know, they released the crime scene, then they went back to the crime scene. So we're hoping today we're going to learn more, but I'm going to be frank. As of now, we don't have a lot on the ground here. I'm not hearing a lot that's substantive. I wish I had more.
Look, I want to be transparent about something because I've had people ask me, but Harris, we knew that about this pacemaker because you and Paul talked about it, and several other people on the show too. We did, and out of an abundance of caution, we were asked to not dig any deeper on that because there wouldn't be any answers coming. And they were right about that. So that's why we were quiet about it. But the pacemaker, to me, 2 days ago, was a hugely important part of the timeline. And for those of us who might wear a medical monitor for whatever the cause might be, and you'll see John Roberts talk about that this hour too, because he has a pacemaker and is willing to talk openly about that and share that information about how they coordinate. But Paul, those are the types of tech devices that you first look at in addition to all the cameras.
Yeah, exactly. And look, you also want to look not only at the time of abduction, because, okay, we have that now, presumably, and you can look at the cameras that are outside of the home, street cameras, things like that, hoping you pick something up. Arizona, unfortunately, is a one license plate state. So if the cameras only pick up the front of the car, you're not going to get a plate. So that makes things a little more difficult, but you can work the model of the car and all of that. But the other thing you're going to do, Harris, is everybody's focusing on the time of the abduction. You're going to work backwards because whoever did this very clearly knew the terrain, knew the cameras were going there. That didn't just happen for the first time that night. So you're going to work backwards to see whose phone has been hitting her Wi-Fi server in her house. She must have had one because she had this pacemaker set up and everything else. So almost certainly she did. You want to see who's been hitting the cell towers there. You want to look for an analogy.
I don't know who he's talking about. That's okay. Let him keep typing. Trust me. They recording everything on this channel.
We want them embedded in this investigation as part of the investigation, but as of now, it's being led by the sheriff here, and that's important. You need one person in command to synchronize everything.
Well, here at the Faulkner Focus, we reached out to Nest, which is owned by Google, just to see if we could get any more information than their standard statement, which they issued yesterday, I believe, NBC. And that was that they are cooperating in all of this. A big part of the story, Paul, has been access to what might have been uploaded in the cloud from those cameras. You keep going back to the technology of cameras. That sounds key here more than anything yet.
Get ready. What you say? You don't even know in office.
At least not yet.
Yeah, they put out the sheriff's office put out a statement that the cameras did not upload.
Hey, baby,
that's a
point to.
And every cop has this story. You get there, you see the cameras, you think, okay, we're going to get great footage. And then it turns out somebody changed the password, the credit card expired, something very prosaic that undermines that. And it turns out the camera wasn't working for 2
Wait a minute. The credit card, what? Expired? What the world going on? Somebody is whoever her caretaker. Trust me, she have to have a caretaker. Somebody taking care of her. Somebody in that house with her.
They can't get to all of it. At least not yet.
Yeah,
Good morning, baby.
The sheriff's office put out a statement that the cameras did not upload to the cloud. That's a bad break. And
the camera didn't upload to the cloud. Y'all can still get into it. Y'all can still get into it.
Every cop has this story. You get there, you see the cameras, you think, okay, we're going to get great footage. And then it turns out somebody changed the password, the credit card expired.
How in the, excuse me, y'all, I ain't gonna say it. How in the world did her credit card expired? Who is not taking care of this mother? Yeah, they got to be holding information because somebody, whoever her caretaker is, credit card expired, and then the subscription on the camera, it expired. Come on, the lady is a millionaire. Who could? Oh Lord, calm down. Let me calm down. This ain't making sense. He just said the credit card expired. The subscription on the camera expired. Yeah, Savannah got the money, baby. And it's how her cards is now, how did her credit card expired, y'all? Who is not taking care of this lady, of the mother? Who is not taking care of Nancy? Even if the credit card expired, you tried to use it, could tell where, yeah. But I'm still upset because now you got the camera subscription expired, credit card expired. What else has expired? So what's gonna happen is they protecting somebody in that family, somebody young, somebody else in that family young. I just be wanting to know how people just can come in the chat and ask you what's going
Very
on.
prosaic
And
and
don't know.
undermines that. And it turns out the camera wasn't
Good
working
morning,
for 2 years and
Kevin.
nobody knew. Now the cameras didn't upload to the cloud. If that's the case, you're not going to get it from there. But then where did they upload to? Did she have a local server, a computer that they loaded to? Did it go on her phone, which we know they have? Can they get in there and see if it's there? I'd also like to see this, Harris.
Right, Billy.
When was that camera disabled, as in ripped off the wall?
Is anyone on drugs in her family with a bad habit? Somebody got a bad habit. I guarantee that's gonna come up next. I don't trust that sister body language, nor the brother.
Does it look old? Does the wood look old? Was it, let's say, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 6 months ago? Did somebody plan it and get rid of the cameras earlier and she didn't even realize?
That's what I just said. He said. It was planned earlier. Nothing should be expired from her. Y'all said the sister stayed about a couple minutes from her. Wow, somebody ain't taking care of it, baby.
These are the kind of things I'm sure they're pulling at very hard.
All right, I want to get to this. Fox News Digital put this together. The sheriff previously said that Nancy Guthrie had dinner with her daughter, Annie, and son-in-law on Saturday evening before being dropped off back at home.
So she had dinner with her. Let me see what she said right now.
That Nancy Guthrie had dinner with her daughter, Annie, and son-in-law on Saturday evening before being dropped off back.
Bam! The sister and her husband. What did they eat?
Fox team drove the shortest and likely route that she and her family would have taken that night, the last time she was seen alive. And you're watching some of that now. Just some points of interest here. The home from her daughters to her home was 4.3 miles with no traffic at that time. It would have taken about 11 minutes. There's some speed bumps. I've mentioned, how this area looks. It's beautiful and not a lot of lights in that area. They like it like that. In fact, there are fines if you light up too much for light pollution. Few major intersections, mostly residential back roads, a few stoplights. Now, the good news with the stoplights is many of them have cameras, and that will be able to help police. Short stretches down a main road with businesses, that sort of thing. Low profile, as you see, not a lot of higher than 2 stories in this area, and very dark when they would have arrived at her home around 9:30, 9:45 is the timeline that we've been given. And again, few lights due to local laws, fines that I mentioned, and what was waiting for Nancy at home is completely unknown at this point. Just your response to what our team put together here at Fox.
Well, one of the things you're going to do is look very hard at if there's any tire traffic.
Tabitha, that's what I said. Do either one of the siblings have any older kids, kids? What? They're not telling us everything.
Actual footprints going in and out of the house. This is not like New York where everything is cement. You have desert terrain here, you leave an impression. So they know that car was at the house, so you're going to go to get prints from that car, that is tire tracks. That's your elimination track, right? And then you're going to look and see, okay, do we have recent tracks from another vehicle here, because almost certainly a vehicle was involved, and say, is it a truck? Is it a small car? What kind of vehicle was it? You're not going to get a whole lot more than that, but it's an elimination point. And if you do get to the point where you have, around the time of the abduction, cars leaving the area, you're going to be able to say, okay, we're looking for a car of a particular size, tire type, etc. This is the kind of thing that you can, again, put out to specialized units, to the feds. They keep a database of this kind of stuff. It was very key in Kohlberger, if you remember. They identified the car. It was a very important clue. The
That's what we've been saying,
Tony. Is going to be really significant. And let's remember something. Vehicles these days are rolling computers. They're Wi-Fi's themselves. They leave a digital footprint. So they're going to be looking at that.
Great point.
Y'all, we gonna still. I've been uploading a lot of little stuff about Miss Nancy. Is she with a nurse? Is she? I don't want to think negative yet.
Paul Morrow, always great to have you wherever you land to bring more to us. Appreciate that. You're in Tucson.
Well, y'all, we're going to keep up with the case, and y'all keep up with the case as well. Y'all, thank you. I love the participation. And if you're not interested in anything like this, I wish these people just stay away from the chat. Because anything can happen to you. I'm out, y'all. Thanks.